The science of Derby, the science of Derby. Let's learn something new.
Hi, today we're going to talk about plow stops. Now, I've already done a video on the science and physics behind plow stops and how it works. Remember, it's all about friction and how to get your body in the right position to get the control, to really get that slide and friction you need to have an effective stop. So don't miss that video. Quick recap of the physics. Number one, we really want to make sure all our weight's on the back foot. That's going to allow us to do whatever we need to do with the front foot to control the friction, to control our braking exactly what we need. Second of all, my position is upright. I'm able to block the opponent pushing against me and able to have that flexibility and movement. I'm really sitting back down on that jammer that's pushing against me. Lastly, related to those, I do not want to have my head forward in this position. First of all, that extra weight's going to prevent me from braking efficiently and correctly and with control. Second of all, I don't want my head in the middle of that pack. I want to have my head out of the game and my eyes able to see what's going on. So with those three tips, let's get to some drills. Let's start with a couple of really easy drills you can do without your skates on, just in your sneakers. And especially if you're a newer skater or you're having trouble with your hockey stops or your plow stops and it's something new to you, you can do this. It takes less than a minute a day and it's going to really, really help. So we start, find a wall somewhere, take our heels against the wall, our hips against the wall, top of our shoulders against the wall, and even our head against the wall. And all we do is plie. We bend our knees just like that. It's really important to keep the heels against the wall. This is not this kind of exercise at all. Heels against the wall, just easy plie. And you can do this 10 times. Nice and easy. My joints are relaxed. I'm not slamming. I'm really relaxed in my hip flexors. I'm keeping this position against the wall. Takes less than a minute. Just go up and down 10 times easily. 3 times a day, every single day, for the rest of your life, or at least for the next few weeks. It's going to make a big difference. If this is difficult for you, if your knees are wiggling all over the place, that's totally okay. The strength in your quads is going to come really quickly. One interesting biological note on how muscles work, muscles can only contract. That means if it's like a rope, you can only pull on the rope. So if you think of your bicep, this muscle contracts, meaning it pulls on the front of my arm. That's the only thing you can do. Imagine pushing on a rope. It doesn't work. The only thing you can do is contract. In this situation, we're using our quads. If you imagine you're bent, my quads are contracting, which is straightening my legs. Yeah? So this is called a concentric contraction. When I'm going down, I'm still using my quads in an eccentric contraction, and I'm kind of letting this weight of my body, I'm using my quads to gently lower myself down. And if I was to hold them down here, this would be called an isometric contraction. But it's all the same thing, it's just a contraction of these muscles here. Of course, my glutes, my hamstrings, everything else is still involved in the stabilization, but this is mainly a quad strength exercise. Once it's really easy for you to be going up and down, nice and easy, keeping my shoulders against the wall, my heels against the wall, you can do this 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, no problem. The next step is to hang out here a little bit and just get comfortable with easily shifting your weight from one foot to another. You can do whatever you want with the other leg. You want this to be your natural, comfy, happy position. Because when you're blocking in a game and all this stuff's going around and people are running into you, you want to be able to instantly find this control on one leg. After that, you can practice on one leg, up and down. So again, we're just building that quad strength, but now we're relying only on one leg at a time. And the idea is we're going to be using this strength and then to be able to plow stop with the other leg. I really want to stay relaxed in my hip flexor, both hip flexors. I don't want this really tense situation. You just want to be comfortable, relaxed, loose. And so 10 times on one leg, feeling really comfortable. we're loose and relaxed, and that's what you want. The last step, once you're feeling really comfortable on one leg, is to start practicing your actual plow stop against the wall in your sneakers. So here I am in this great, easy, relaxed position, and I want to imagine I'm giving this really great plow stop, keeping my good position against the wall, and practicing dosing the amount of weight I'm putting through the floor. So here I've got 100% of my weight on my back leg and 0 on the front leg. And then if I put 1% on the front leg, or 2%, or 3%, 2%, 1%, 0%. Just practicing this control, making it feel really easy, comfortable, natural. Very soon we're going to do this on the floor, on the track, with skates, and you're going to be needing this control. So it's helpful to just practice and clean it up. Nobody's around, and you can see I can come away from the wall also and still practice this control. Now, if you're really struggling with really having control with all your weight only on one leg, I have another quick exercise for you. It's really important to build up that strength because everything, your hockey stops, your spin moves, your apex jumps, and just your basic plow stop is all dependent on being able to have all your weight on one leg at a time and being able to do what you want with that. So here's a really great squat exercise that looks a little different than the ones you might have done before. You take a pretty wide stance and you bend the knee with all of your weight on the back leg. So this is not kind of a lunge like this. I'm not working this quad as much as this back quad. I'm really trying to put my weight as far back as possible. You should feel it right through here in this quad. So really put your body's weight on this back leg. Should feel really great. It's just working slightly different muscle chain, which is really going to help you when you bring it into your plow stops. Okay, so we're going to start with a drill I came up with to really help find that control, that exquisite control to have exactly the pressure and the slide you need on your front foot. We're going to do it in 3 stages, and I'll show you on place first of all, and then I'll show it in movement and see how that looks. So the first one is butterfly kisses. You know when you kiss someone gently with your eyelashes? It's the same idea. So we have all our weight on our back leg, and we just touch the floor so gently with the eyelashes of our wheels. We just gently touch it. So we'll be skating, and we just do tap, 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 and we switch legs. Just ever so gently on the floor. After that, we're going to do like a butterfly caress. So it's the same idea. We want to touch the floor and just slide along it. And if somebody was watching, they wouldn't even know if you were actually touching the floor or not. So it would just be. The third step, once you have that mastered, is you're going to start with a caress, so you're sliding along, and then slowly add pressure to that front foot. So if I start out with 99% on the back and 1% on the front, then I go 2%, 3%, 4%, 3%, 2% until I stop. Let's see what that looks like in motion. And now the butterfly caresses, just gently sliding along the ground. And going back, just barely touching, you don't even know. Trying to keep this nice position and just sliding along the ground. Lastly, I slowly increase the pressure. Slide until I get that nice chatter. Again, I'm sliding 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 until I get that stop. Again, slide, increase until I chatter. Again, until I get that chatter. Let's try with a live view doing these butterfly kisses and then caresses. So I'm really just tapping very gently. You almost can't tell that I'm hitting the ground. Just really, really in control. Next, I want to learn to have the control to allow my foot to slide gracefully. The other foot. So 99% of my weight's on the back and just a tiny percentage is on the front foot. And now to work up to the actual plow, I keep all my weight on the back, start out at 0 on the front, and then slowly move it up till I get that chatter. Other side. So I really believe in this butterfly exercise with these butterfly kisses and then that nice caress with your front foot. And it's not just because I created the exercise, it's because I really believe it's one of the best ways to find the control you need to be able to stop on any surface. Even if you're a really experienced skater, but you find yourself always changing your wheels or thrown off when you're on a slippery floor or a sticky floor especially, this is the exercise for you. If you're having trouble with your hockey stops, if you're having trouble with your power slides, this is the exercise for you. You just need to find that control on one leg. Once you have this butterfly exercise pretty down and you feel like you're getting that control, especially if you can caress and then slowly increase the weight on the front foot, now you want to tighten that up and stop a little bit faster. So let's move on to the most classic plow stop drill of all time. On one whistle, you do a right, one-footed plow stop. On 2 whistles, you do a left. And if you've just been doing this drill with these caresses and increasing the pressure, coaches especially, and if you're coaching yourself, really be disciplined to find that slide first, to find that caress on the floor before you put the pressure on the plow stop. It's not useful if you or your skaters are doing plow stops like that. It's not useful. Doing these big C cuts that are going to trip up your whole wall and just kind of slide. You really want to have the control you need to be able to stop on any floor, to do exactly what you need. So be disciplined to find that slide and then push the pressure. So it'll look something like this. Let's do one more plow stop drill, and this is a great way to get better at being precise at where you are stopping. And coaches, this is a great way to start training, especially newer skaters, to be able to use their peripheral vision and judge their stopping point. What it's going to do is we set up on the track cones at approximately 45-degree angle from each other along the track, and just go from cone to cone, doing a right-footed or left-footed plow stop at each cone. This diagonal drill is another great way to set your skaters up for hockey stops. We'll talk about that more in another video, but just getting your skaters used to stopping at a certain point and practicing this transition of weight from one side to another is a great way to set it up. We're going to do this with a live cam, and I think you'll be able to see that. Now notice the transfer of weight at each plow. It's going to be important for hockey stops. Now, my weight's on my outside foot. I transfer it to the inside foot. Thank you so much for your time and attention. If you've ever taken one of my classes, you know I believe the one-footed plow stop is the most important derby skill in the world. It's the most important move to learn. So really spend the time, especially if you're a newer skater. Clean that up, work on it, figure out those mechanics, and you're going to become an awesome skater, or you're going to become an even more awesome skater than you already are. Can't wait to see you on the track, slamming out those chattery, beautiful, incredible plow stops.
The science of Derby, the science of Derby. Let's learn something new.